Welcome to the Arise and Thrive podcast. I'm your host, Connie Jones, and this is a space where we're going to arise into who we truly are, releasing the struggle and the striving and the surviving, learning how to thrive in the life that God created us to live. And we're going to talk about healing, identity, purpose, and courageous leadership through the lens of counseling wisdom, coaching insight, practical tools, leadership principles, and biblical truth. So whether you're listening to a solo episode or a powerful conversation with another purpose-driven leader, my hope is that you feel encouraged and grounded and empowered to live and lead freely, authentically, and aligned with who you were created to be. Let's go. Well, welcome back to the show, and I'm really grateful you're here. It is just me today, but I got something really special to talk to you about, and really valuable, very, very important and transformational. And so I'm excited. It's a hard subject, but it's not something that we want to face, but it's something that is really, really important and something that I've struggled with and getting freedom from. And I can just tell you that it's made all the difference in the world. And so I want to talk to you about something that every business owner, every leader, almost every high capacity human being wrestles with. But we rarely talk about it out loud. And it's the power of letting yourself be seen, not just as a leader, but as a person. And for so long, I struggled with this and didn't even know it. Actually, I really didn't know it that I was doing this. It was just all I ever knew. It was just the way it was. It was all I ever felt like I could have. So it was survival. I lived in this pattern of hiding, shrinking, trying to be the strong one, the one who could hold it all, figure it all out, keep it all together, and never need anything from anyone. Right. And if you're a founder and a CEO, or maybe even a service provider, a therapist, a coach, or consultant, or practitioner, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. It's hyperindependence. And that hyperindependence feels like strength, but actually it is a survival mechanism. And today I want to unpack that and share what shifted for me this year and offer some guidance for how you can open yourself to support, connection, and real growth without losing your sense of confidence or authority in it. Because it isn't that what we don't want to do, is lose that sense of confidence or authority. But this has got to shift. It's got to change. We got to break free from this because it's holding us back. It's putting a ceiling on everything in our life, and it's putting on a ceiling on who we are to become. And so let's talk about why people do hide, especially why leaders hide, why high capacity people hide. Because when you become a business owner or a leader, something subtle happens. You start believing the lie that you have to be the safest person in the room. You have to be the most capable person, the one with the answers, the one who never needs anything. And that is a lot of pressure. And that pressure leads to what I call protective shrinking. And protective shrinking looks like not asking for help, not sharing struggles, not showing vulnerability, over functioning all the time, trying to manage everything internally, refusing to let anybody else or anyone see the real messy human you, right? We can't risk that. That feels too scary. Then we're exposed for not being enough. And then something bad's going to happen, punishment. Something's going to be taken. We're going to be exposed as the fraud that we are. Our very survival in our mind, our brain thinks that our survival depends on that. And we justify staying there by saying to ourselves, well, I don't want to burden anybody. And I don't want people to lose confidence in me. And I don't want to be judged, or I don't want to be rejected, right? I don't want people to think I'm not capable. But underneath all that is something a whole lot deeper. And that's fear and shame of exposure. And for many people, the instinct to hide was built before they ever started a business. Gosh, it's in our very DNA, right? It came from childhood and early roles and past relationships and environments where vulnerability wasn't safe. And so hiding just becomes normal. And independence becomes normal. And doing it all alone and figuring it out, doing it for yourself becomes normal. But the truth is, hiding will keep you safe. Absolutely, it'll keep you safe. But it'll also keep you small and stuck and stagnant and under a ceiling. And that's not where we want to be. That's not what we were created for. And so let's talk about the cost of hyper independence. It's the part we don't talk about enough. And it's, yes, hyper independence does keep us safe. It protects us. But hyper independence also, it limits our creativity. It limits our ability to lead authentically. It closes us off from meaningful connection, the connection we're just yearning for inside. It increases burnout. It makes your team feel disconnected from you. Your people feel disconnected from you. It blocks support that could elevate you. It forces you to carry weight that isn't yours to carry. Hyper independence is survival, but it's not leadership. It's not expansion. It's not successful. The more you try to be the strong one, the more isolated you become. And you end up in this loop of, I don't want to show too much. I don't want to need anyone. I'll figure it out myself. And then what happens is you become exhausted, overwhelmed, and you feel really, really lonely. And it's scary. And that's the silent burnout of leadership. Um, I want to just share that, this is something I've struggled with for years and years and years. And it's been an unlayering diving into the layers of this, and just e- releasing it more and more and more and learning how to live very differently and lead very differently. And this year I really had a turning point. It became really different for me, and I made a conscious choice to let myself be seen like never before. I mean, it's been a gradual thing over several years, but this year was just really like, it's been a big shift, to stop leading from isolation and start leading from authenticity and start leading from this place of vulnerability. And I did a couple things. I joined a business women's mastermind circle, a group of women who are growing and stretching and expanding themselves and each other, who challenge me and expand me. It's real, it's raw. There's no pretending, there's no performing in it. I started working with a coach in a deeper way, someone I allow in fully, like messy of all messy they see. Someone who doesn't let me hide behind competence or professionalism, someone I don't withhold anything from, nothing. Um, and that has been game changer for me. I ask all the hard questions. I have just let myself be seen. I have let myself, expose the all inadequacies or perceived inadequacies, all the things that I don't know, all the things that I'm upset about, all the things that I want, all the things that my heart hurts over, all the mistakes I've made, everything, no stone unturned. And it's been amazing. I also got on a ladies tennis team, a place where I show up as a learner, a beginner, a human, where, they're better than me. And I've had to like get frustrated and share and laugh, and they have my back, and, and do better and learn more. And it, it's just been amazing that all of those spaces have grown me more this year than almost anything else. They've softened me, they've strengthened me, they've healed parts of me that I didn't even know were tired, weary. They've elevated me as a leader in ways of like figuring it out alone never did, never even came close. Because I couldn't. I'm not designed to. You're not designed to figure it out alone. And so letting yourself be seen creates so much more clarity, relief, rest, confidence, creativity, connection, even emotional regulation, and a deeper sense of belonging. And I'm a better leader because I stopped trying to be a perfect leader, and stop having all the answers and stop trying to carry it all on my shoulders alone. So let's talk for a minute about what does it mean to be seen, right? Because being seen doesn't mean oversharing. It doesn't mean pouring out all your struggles and, onto your team, or, you know, it, it doesn't mean losing your professionalism or your boundaries either. It just simply means you allow your humanity into the room. You allow yourself to be supported. You allow yourself to be helped. You ask questions. You ask for what you need. You allow yourself to be truly known. And as a leader, being seen looks like admitting when you don't know the answer, allowing input from other people, asking for input from other people, being honest when something feels hard, sharing your thought process, and letting a trusted circle be your mirror, reflect things back to you, and just acknowledging that you can't carry it all and that you're tired, that you need help and you need support and you need guidance. And leadership doesn't require us to have that armor. I carried armor for so long and didn't even know it, which was so interesting, because with my clients, I can be so, um, you know, soft and loving and compassionate and giving and grace giving, but with myself, I couldn't. And and that was really holding me back, and I didn't even know it. But being seen requires you to be present, fully present with yourself and with others, and letting yourself be seen when you do it actually elevates your leadership. It elevates it elevates you in every way. It elevates your growth in every way. It elevates your life and it elevates your leadership. But when you do allow yourself to be seen, your presence becomes more powerful. People trust humans more than perfect people. Your team opens up and becomes more collaborative, and your vulnerability models safety for them. They feel safer. Your decision making improves, because you're not making decisions alone from a place of fear or urgency or reactivity. Man, that was a game changer for me. Stop making decisions from fear or reactivity. Um, you also gain emotional resilience, and because support regulates your nervous system more than self reliance ever does. Self reliance never feels safe. You don't even know that you don't feel safe in your body. But if you stop and you ask, you notice, just how much am I bracing because I just don't feel safe ever. Um, and we're not talking about physical safety. We're talking about your body doesn't feel safe because you can't trust. Um, you expand faster because you're not wasting energy protecting some image, right? You just let yourself be seen, and you ask the questions that you need, and you ask for the help that you need, and you let it in and you receive it. And it's so amazing. You stop carrying unnecessary weight, and you give others permission to help you with everything that you need, to contribute to you, to lead. Um, you give other people permission to elevate and shine right alongside of you. It also allows you to become more magnetic when you let yourself be seen. People can feel that authenticity and they gravitate towards it. And leaders who let themselves be seen build stronger cultures and stronger businesses and stronger communities. And it's incredible. So I hope this is resonating, and I hope you're seeing that, wow, that's really, and it might feel scary, but like, this is really a game changer. This is really something that if I shift it could really open things up for me and elevate me in every area of my life and my business. But so let's talk for a minute about what are the practical ways you can let yourself be seen? Well, I shared some things that I did. But I've also, just with friends, I've made changes in my church. I've made changes in my friendships. I started saying hard things. I started letting people in. I started asking people to, to do things and be more vulnerable in my relationships. And it's just incredible. It's amazing. But here's some other things that you can do. You can join a circle, or, or create a circle that can hold you. And that's another thing I did this year. I created a women's circle also, in addition to joining one that can really hold me. Just exactly what you want it to be. list all the things. What are the desires of your heart? What would it look like if you had a safe circle? Maybe a mastermind or a coaching container or a peer group or a space where you can just tell the truth. Maybe it's just a few women that get together here and there. I've got several of those. It's really cool. You can begin to let someone in fully. You can just make an intentional decision and do the hard thing and just start sharing a little bit more with someone or let them in and say, hey, this is what's going on, or this is what I'd like to, I'd like to take our relationship deeper, or, you know, um, just share something and take a risk. But you can do that with friends. You can do that with a mentor. You can do that with a therapist. You can do it with a coach. I've done all of those. You can, and then mainly you stop editing yourself, is what you do. You stop like performing and you just start being. Um, you can also share your real internal process with people on your team. Not your personal life, of course. You don't want to do that. Not all of your personal life, but you don't want to overstep with boundaries, but and overshare. But share your leadership thinking. Let them see how you make decisions. Let them see, where your heart is, what's going on. Um, those kinds of things. Just share a little bit more and let people in. You can stop pretending that you don't need help and ask for support where you need it, like with a coach or a mentor or a friend, a counselor, whatever that looks like. But just stop pretending you don't need help. You don't have to have all the answers. Ask for support. Ask for what you want. Ask someone. And, that's even in the Bible. Ask and you will receive. But if you do not have because you do not ask, right? um, so ask. Um, you can practice these little micro reveals, like share a small truth or a challenge that you're navigating or a mistake you corrected or a lesson you learned. Just let yourself have just little moments of vulnerability. That's big. That will go a long way. Take those little steps and let that add up over time consistently. Practice saying, I don't know out loud. That is one of the most powerful leadership sentences that there is, you know what? I don't know. And breathe into that. Just let that be. Let that be okay. I don't know, but I can ask. I can find out. I can get support with that. I can learn, right? And then do that. Begin to let others be strong for you too. The receiving support is a form of leadership. We've got to have receiving. Can't be one way. Receiving is a part of leading. Yeah. So we've got to go for today, but as we close out this episode, I want you to ask yourself a few questions. Starting with, where am I hiding in my leadership? Sit with that for a little bit. Journal on that. If you ask, it'll come out. You'll start to see. You may not know right off, but you'll start to notice. It'll be exposed. And it's not to judge or condemn yourself, beat yourself up. That's not allowed here. It's to it's just to be curious and say, what's that about? And how do I begin to change that? Or how is that impacting me? The next question I want you to ask yourself is, where am I over functioning? Like, what am I doing that is like working harder than everybody else and overdoing and overgiving and being over responsible and overburdened? And like, that's all over functioning. So where's that going on? And then where am I pretending to be okay, but I'm not really? Like, what do I really need and want that I'm not asking for? Where do I want support and guidance? Where do I need to learn something new? Where do I, want someone to come in and help me that I just haven't asked for, or even acknowledged to myself? And I'm saying that I'm okay, that I'm okay, or maybe you're not, that you're not okay, but you're not doing anything different. Right. And then finally, where am I trying to do it all alone? Just sit with that, journal on that. Ask the Lord about that. He will show you. This will get exposed, that's for sure. And then ask yourself this question, that where could I let myself be seen? Maybe even just 10% more. Where could I let people in and let myself be just a little bit more seen? 10% more. What could that look like? Maybe it's joining a space that stretches you. Maybe it's asking for help. Maybe it's like letting someone else witness your process. Or maybe it's just telling the truth about how much you're carrying and how tired you are and what you want something different. And you asking, for support or guidance. Because the truth is that leadership is not about doing it alone. It's not. That is not leadership. That's dictatorship. That's survival, right? It's about who you allow to walk with you, right? That's what leadership is. And that's so beautiful. Because you deserve support and you deserve connection and you deserve to be seen. You're worthy of that. You're created for that. And when you allow that, then your growth, your leadership, your business, and your life, your relationships, everything all expand in ways that you can't even imagine yet. It's so cool to watch that transformation happen and to experience that. And so I want that for you too. And if this is something that you'd love to, dive into more and really you're like, okay, yeah, I need to talk to someone about this. All you have to do is reach out. I'm happy to do that with you. I would love to walk you through this, but just start somewhere, just in the 10%. Just notice it. Ask yourself those questions and know that you are made for so much more. Oh my gosh, so much more than survival and striving and struggle. And you're made to thrive. So that's enough for today. I hope this inspired you and encouraged you. And if it did, I hope you share it with someone that you think could really benefit from hearing it. And I just want to thank you for being here in this space with me. I want to thank you for listening. And most important, thank you for being brave enough to acknowledge the truth and being brave enough to grow along your journey to the more that God has for you. All right. I will see you back here next time on the next episode. Thanks for joining me, guys. See you soon. Thank you for spending time with me on the Arise and Thrive podcast. If something in today's episode stirred your heart or brought clarity or invited growth, I encourage you to just pause and notice what's being awakened within you. You don't have to strive your way into transformation. Powerful change happens as you align with truth and you step forward with courage, one intentional choice at a time. And if this episode supported you, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who you know needs this message. And until next time, remember, you were created for freedom, fullness, and purpose. It's time to arise and thrive.